and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Reimagine the Future of Your Business, Capitalizing on Cloud ERP to Achieve Continuous Growth. My name is Jason and I'll be your host for today's session. Today is all about uncovering modern business solutions. All throughout the webinar, you'll learn how an ERP plays a critical role for your business and how Cloud ERP provides a big advantage in today's digital era. Okay, just a little housekeeping, phone on mute to avoid background noises that may interrupt the speakers and other attendees. Also, kindly disable your camera during the session. Third is, if you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the chat box. I'll bring it up during the Q&A part of the webinar. Lastly, we will be recording this webinar from start until the end of the session. We will send you a recorded version of this webinar once it's available. Your e-certificate will be given upon request. So to claim it, just email us at marketing@infosoft.com.ph. Put Acumatica Webinar request for e-certificate as subject. Then include the following details in the body of your email: name, company, designation, and contact number. By the way, we have some exciting stuff for you. We want this session more interesting and interactive. That's why we would really love to hear questions from you with regards to today's topic. Shoot us your questions and we'll pick those attendees who will actively participate during the session and get a chance to win Infosoft limited edition Moleskine notebook at the end of this webinar. So for the flow of presentation, Mr. Shine Matthew will enlighten us about digital transformation. Next is Ms. Mary Ann Sambale. She will discuss about who is Infosoft, followed by Shine to talk about overview of Acumatica. Then our speakers will answer your questions during Q&A. Okay, now without further ado, I'll turn the time over to our speakers, Ms. Mary Ann Sambale. Ms. Mary Ann is a certified public accountant and solutions consultant. She has an extensive knowledge of ERP solutions whose expertise are on streamlining various industries' operations. She is also one of the director of Infosoft Consulting Corporation. To start, let me call on Ms. Mary Ann, who's fondly called Mean.
Hi, Jason. Thank you for your very nice introduction. I'm Mean, and please let me welcome you again and thank everybody who attended this webinar, Reimagine the Future of Your Business. Okay, so let me introduce Mr. Shine Matthew, the Regional Channel Manager of Acumatica, who is with us this afternoon. He's been with Acumatica for more than 5 years, managing Acumatica partners in the Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Hong Kong. Okay, he is one of the pillars of Acumatica in Asia, and since he assumed his post as a channel manager, Acumatica becomes stronger in Asia. Okay, so without further ado, let me welcome Shine, the ever supportive and accommodating channel partner of Acumatica, to share his knowledge about digital transformation. Shine?
Right. Thanks a lot, Mayan, for those kind words. Definitely, I'm there to support our partners. Infosoft is one of the main pillars for us in our business and our growth in whole of Asia. In fact, being a number 2 partner of whole of Asia is quite big. Is a big achievement. And we, as always, we love working with Infosoft team as always. All right. So as Mayan mentioned, my name is Shine Matthew. So I am based in KL, Malaysia, and I manage a few countries for the channel business of Acumatica for a few countries. So today's session is not just about Acumatica as such, and not just about Infosoft also, but it's all about how we can give some value add to all of you who are on the session today to understand how an ERP solution leads towards a digital transformation for your business, for your organization, for your people as well. And it's so obviously Acumatica is a cloud ERP, which is quite well known, and in the Philippines we are well known as well. And this is one of the areas we want to focus on so that all of you have attended this session, can understand how it works, and also a little bit about Acumatica and also Infosoft being our partner there in the Philippines. Maybe I need to share my screen. Just give me a minute. All right, if everyone can see my screen, Jason or Mayan, if you can confirm.
Yes,
Yes.
sir, we can see your screen.
Perfect, great, thanks a lot. As I mentioned, so the first topic would be about digital transformation. Now, this is pretty much a very, very common word or terminologies that most tech companies are using right now. And most people don't realize what it means. Sometimes we think about solutions. It can be something related to document management. It can be anything related to maybe using a mobile phone. Yes, the answer is yes. It covers everything, right? It covers the whole process of how your business most likely might be on an analog business and how you're moving towards a modern technology or a digital business as well. Now, most people don't realize it, but this is not as simple as it sounds, right? It's a big, big effort for an organization who's running on their like the usual business operations for many years on a certain way or a certain process, and getting that change to be set in place and to adopt those changes, it takes a lot of effort. And this change is not just about the solution itself, but it's also about making changes of how the people in the organization, uh, you know, requires a revision of how they have to think about doing their business, or also the processes that you're doing right now. Because some processes that are there might be good, right? It sounds good. You feel that it's unique to your business, it's perfect, but there might be a better way of doing it. And this is where digital transformation leads you to that step that allows you to move from analog all the way towards digital business. Now, how do we identify this part? So the idea is all about challenges, right? If you don't face challenges in your business, sometimes you do not think about changes as well. And when you are not if you're in a mode that you feel that you're secure and you feel that you're very comfortable the way you're doing things, it is also not a good idea, right? Though you might not have challenges, you might not be aware that there might be an advantage over changing your business process a bit as well. And those companies that are always evolving, right? Those are the ones who can keep on adapting themselves, keep on moving ahead of the curve. And you've seen companies like Netflix, you've seen companies like Microsoft, who's things like Acumatica is doing things, or even mobile, right? Apple solutions have been adapting as well. So the whole point of this exercise is not just because of the company's growth as such, but the customers' expectations are also changing, and we need to change accordingly. So the big changes right now that are happening in this journey are always related to software in the cloud or mobility, because almost everyone have a mobile device, a smartphone. Automation, you want to make things efficient, you want to make things more simple, and you want to make it more automated, that you don't have to put too much effort into the things that you have to do. Analytics is a key factor here. Now, analytics has been there for a long time, but how do you do it? How do you manage it? How do you utilize that information and use it to help you move along to the next step? Security is also a big, big factor here. Obviously you heard stories about hacking. You heard stories about the U.S. elections being, changed their votes, and these kind of things are like things that you have to keep in mind, because the time that we're living in is not like how it was before, where it was more simpler, but now it's more easier to get into trouble as well because of these kind of issues, right? So let me start off with software in the cloud, because it's pretty much to the heart of the topic today, mainly because Acumatica is a cloud ERP solution as well. Now, when you think about an ERP solution, a business solution, it depends on what you're looking for as well. An ERP can be very, very generic, right? You hear a lot of names in the market: SAP, Microsoft, NetSuite. So these are all the names that are there in the market, which is associated with ERP, like Acumatica. But what are the differences, right? Each of these solutions or either of these products have certain key strengths and have certain areas where they might be good at, or maybe they might be lacking. And the solution that provides the greater number of modules or greater number of features is what a company is looking for, right? Because maybe you as an organization has started off as a business, which is in maybe retail. But as a retail company, later on you decided, want to start a manufacturing unit, right? To supply my items, which is coming from the manufacturing division to my retail, and I can also sell to other retailers. This is evolution, right? As a business, you're evolving. You want to make sure you grow your business. You want to add one more business line of business. But what you're using right now, the solution that you're using right now, does it help you to scale up, right? And these are the things that you have to keep in mind when you go towards solutions like Acumatica, where it comes along with different industry additions in it, where a customer can get Acumatica for their business at this point of time, but later on when they scale up, they can say that, oh, these solve solutions and features are already available for me that I can utilize to grow my business into different lines of areas of business. And to provide these kind of functionality is always crucial when you think about getting an ERP as well. So this is where it comes to having a SaaS-based ERP or on cloud is also very, very unique, because not many people understand this, that having an on-premise solution is sometimes very limiting as well. When you have a hardware, you set up an Acumatica or a solution into it, the problem is that you're limited by that structure or infrastructure that you have got, right? When you want to scale up, you need to make changes. It doesn't mean changes to the solution or the software, but also to the hardware. And the benefits of having a SaaS ERP is that these challenges are taken out, right? When you want to scale up, you do not need to make too much an effort on your side. It is our job to do it for you, right? And that is why you're paying or maybe even subscribing to those kind of features in the first place. So how you have improvements is not just about the infrastructure, but also in terms of the product features as well. As you can see here, Aberdeen Group, which is a very, very famous consulting group, have done this research, right? The benefits of having a cloud-based ERP as compared to an on-premise ERP. Improvements in inventory turn, right? 45% higher than in terms of 41%, which is on-premise. Reduction in operational costs. This is a big, big key factor here when it comes to having your on-premise ERP or on-premise business solution, where you have to manage your ERP on and hardware, where you have upkeep costs, right? It doesn't mean that you run a solution or hardware and let it go. That's not how it works for on-premise options. When you're going with cloud, the whole point of the exercise is that you do not have to worry about it, because what you're paying for as a license, as a subscription, already includes these kind of operational costs. These are not hidden. That's the best part of SaaS, is that you are aware of what your total cost of ownership is year on year. Whereas if you do on-premise, it is quite vague, right? It is not very easy to gauge as well. The first year or the second year, yes, you understand, but the third year, fourth year onwards, then depreciation of hardware gets into the picture here. IT staff cost has gone up. So these are the reasons why it's always more beneficial to go on SaaS. Administrative costs, which is what I've related to, is operational as well, and reduction in inventory issues as well. Because when you have a SaaS-based solution where it's accessible by anyone, on any device from anywhere, right? All information is always seamless. Everything is in line with what you need to see. Improvements in shipments. The same thing. When there's a downtime on your server, you are not able to complete your shipment process. That's an issue, right? You are not getting money out of it. That means whatever process you're doing right now to bill to a customer, you can't do it because you can't even ship it out. Why? Because your server has crashed and you are not able to even restart it. These are the things that you have a big difference when you go into a cloud-based ERP as compared to on-premise. I think we can always talk about a lot of ERP solutions, but there are a lot of companies out there who are sitting on very old legacy kind of solutions. For example, we have Microsoft GP, Great Plains, right? Or you have Microsoft SL, which used to be Solomon. We have the previous old Microsoft Navision as well as an example. And it is always very challenging for companies who are still running on the legacy ones, because for them, it's difficult to move on, right? They have to reinvest as well. I think maybe, Mian, it's a good question, because Infosoft is also a Microsoft partner. So what do you think? What is your experience with your customers when they think about going with Acumatica SaaS as compared to having legacy solutions like Microsoft?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, Shine, we have a client in Davao. Uh, you know about this client, actually, the GH Office Depot. They have decided to purchase Dynamics in late 2019. And then we have started implementing the system. And thus, all the analysis and design to fit the business requirement. But early 2020, the pandemic happened and lockdown was implemented all over the country. Hence, the implementation of the system was interrupted. And because the
Right.
system is implemented on premise, so it's totally like on hold. Okay.
Right. Right.
So when the lockdown was lifted, the president realized that he also need additional users in preparation for the go live, since all the users needs to access the system. Okay. So at that time, the president also started contemplating on going to cloud instead. Okay, instead of on-premise, because of what they have experienced during the lockdown, where they cannot do anything. Okay,
Right.
so we sit down again with the president, and together with him, we analyze and calculate his advantage. When at that time we shifted him to Cloud ERP, that is Acumatica, instead of continuing his current on-premise
On premise.
implementation. Yes.
Right. Right.
And after the analysis and discussion, he realized that moving to cloud will be the best for his company, especially this time where lockdown are still imminent. And
Right.
last December 2020, he decided to shift to Acumatica Cloud ERP and disregard the implementation of his on-premise system. And I
Understood.
think, yeah, as of the moment, he's happy with how the project is going, because they can still do the implementation even if they cannot go out of their home, because
Right.
Acumatica can be accessed anywhere and anytime.
Correct. No,
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, that's a really really good story, and I remember this customer
Yeah.
that this when this happened. But just exactly like how you pointed out about the pandemic last year, the pandemic came along at a time where business is growing. Right, business is really
Yeah.
booming in the Philippines in 2019. 2020, the outlook for business was pretty good. We had a lot of customers who was already in the pipeline to deciding to go into Acumatica. But the whole thing got interrupted because of the pandemic, where the economy was affected. And definitely, companies are having a difficulty to invest in maybe even acquiring a new solution for their companies. But there's also the flip side to it, like how you said, in the because of problems of having a pandemic, and when you have an organization that still needs to run, they still need to run their business because there are a lot of staff depending to get their pay on a monthly basis, and you cannot just stop your business also because they need to help the staff. And when this operation still needs to run, even though it's not as doing as well as 2019, but it's still running. And when you have an issue like the server has gone down, right, in your head office the server is down, but because of government regulation you are not allowed to go out or even go outside to even go to the office to maybe even help resolve the issue. And like that, a lot of customers, in fact, in Philippines reached out saying that the reason we need now a solution quickly is not because of economic reason. It's because I can't run my business anymore because the server is down. I can't get someone to help because I can't even send anyone there to reset or even fix the problem. And having a cloud solution makes more sense in that kind of environment, right? Come to think of it. And this is where companies nowadays are adopting cloud so easily. It's mainly because of this reason. Again, related to, yeah, so exactly, so related to what I said about cloud is also mobility, right? And having a mobile device is now a very, very key item in your hand, is an extension of your body, so to speak, right? There is not many people out there you would meet with do not have a smartphone mobile device. The reason is everyone are engaging on a mobile devices right now. It is very, very rare you don't see it. And this mobility is where it has changed a lot of things, because when you set meetings, it's so easy to set a meeting through a phone. You don't have to, long ago, you had to go back to your office, to open up your laptop or a computer, send out a meeting calendar or send out information on email, whereas a phone allows you to act quickly, right? To jump quickly when you need to be done. So it reduces the time frame to work on to do your daily job. And the reason is also to come to think of it, not only about that, right? It is about the interactions with people as well, because people are using WhatsApp more, Viber more in Philippines, where you have business calls that are run on the fly, right? And when you have a call comes in, the customer asks you, can you send me a quotation or prepare a quote for me, or at least send me the pricing? And to open up on your phone to check immediately what it is and to immediately respond, it reduces the time frame, right? In terms of responses to your prospects, your customers. This is how business is run. Customers appreciate speed, right? Customers appreciate promptness. And it helps you in the long way. Now, to talk about Acumatica, right? Acumatica's strength here is that Acumatica comes along with a mobile app, which is part of the license. It is free, right? The whole point why we kept it free is because we have understood that a person who's using a mobile device will need to use it for most likely their business as well, or for the office work as well. And having an Acumatica solution running on a mobile app, having it free, packaged along with the license, it is the best option because the customer can get value out of it as well. And the reason is also, like, for example, like for me, right? I used to travel a lot when I was doing my work. As Mian mentioned earlier, I do a few countries. And almost every 2 weeks, I used to travel. Not at the moment. Unfortunately, we can't travel anymore. But this is just an example of what I used to do. And every time I used to travel, I had a lot of claims, right? I had a lot of expenses to claim from the company because when I travel, I need to, let's say, do some dinner party or I entertain a guest. I need to take the receipt because I need to claim back from the company. What was the old traditional way, right? The old traditional way, I don't know if you remember this 4 or 5 years ago, where you had to take the hard copy and stick it on a paper and scan it and then send a copy to your finance guys. And these are the claims, so please process it for me, which would take around a week or two because by the time they read through all things, the time is a lot. And by the time you get your claims back as an employee, you feel dissatisfied, right? Oh, I put so much out, but in the end, I'm getting it so late back as well. Now, for me, it is easy because when I use Acumatica mobile app, I just scan the picture of my receipt. It's already uploaded, and immediately on the fly on my phone, I hit request for an approval. It goes to my boss, who is living in Bangkok, by the way, while I'm traveling. He gets He gets a notification on his mobile phone saying that Shine has submitted a claim. Please approve or reject. And it's seamless, right? The idea is when he accepts it, our finance is notified, finance is aware, and it's part of my billing or it's part of my pay the following month. Now, the whole flow, right? The reason is because we are traveling, we have work, we need to make things seamless, and this is the easy way of doing it. Now, I think, Mian, I think because you're doing Acumatica a long time now, you have a lot of customers using Acumatica. Do you have any examples of customers right now using Acumatica mobile app to run their business?
Oh, yeah, yeah. So you're happy that you can reimburse on time, right? Yes, actually, we have clients, and this clients is Ropali Inc. So before they implemented Acumatica, it took them 1 up to 2 weeks in order to approve the branch transaction. They have actually more than 100 branches all over the country. So they have regional managers who is covering multiple branches in specific regions. So since approval is done manually, they have to wait for the regional manager to visit the branch before they can have their transaction approved. Okay, so that's their dilemma before we came into the picture. So when we implemented Acumatica, all approval are set up and done online through the mobile device of Acumatica. So every regional manager can approve via mobile application of Acumatica, and approval becomes real time.
Correct.
So even the head office are actually updated on all the branch transaction and can render decision faster and more accurately because they have updated record. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Right. No, I agree, and I remember this about Ropali that the number of branches are growing, right? They're
yeah,
not just
we have
exactly just
126.
correct. And every year it's like adding more and more branches. That means the number of people are also increasing, and the effort involved in leading towards this, what you said, the business scenario is also going to be very difficult without an app or mobility that is included in the solution. All right. Thanks a lot, Mian, for sharing about Ropali.
Yeah, welcome.
Right. Now, so the next point is all about security, like how I explained earlier, right? It's un unfortunately the world is such that there are not that many good people as well. So there are always people out there who are trying to do things which are not in your best interest, and the most of the time it might be unlucky where you are using a product running on hardware or infrastructure where it is not secure. And a lot of cases have come up where I remember that one or two are customers that I know who, before they moved to Acumatica, who were using like legacy software, were stuck with a ransomware attack. Right? It's odd, right? Someone hacks into you, holds your data hostage, and they are asking you for money to pay them off so that they can release the database or the solution back to you. This is like kidnapping, right? In real life, it's kidnapping. But in this case, when you're an organization who is dependent on your data for your business, you realize your dependency is so much on it that you're vulnerable if you think about it. And how do you manage this? So these are the problems that come about when you're actually sitting on a legacy software, you're sitting on an old software, and it's not running on the latest security protocol. It's not sitting on an infrastructure or hardware which is not actually up to speed or updated. And these are the things that some of the companies that I know always feel that their total cost of ownership every year is mainly related to this, to keep on ramping up security on my server or their server, or ramping up their tech people's knowledge as well, because sometimes knowledge is also a problem here. When I know a product, or if I know something right now, it's most likely outdated within 6 months to 1 year, right? Or 2 years, let's assume. And if you do not update yourself about the latest technology, the latest features that are out there, how will you be in the best position to secure what you have at your office? And this is where it's very, very important to understand that though solutions change, you have to make sure that it is secure as well. If you don't have a security protocol in place, it's going to be a problem. Like, for example, Acumatica is a cloud ERP. We cannot have customers sitting on a public cloud and then they feel not confident about it. And that is why we are audited. So every year, it's not just us. I'm not saying it's only Acumatica, but this is not unique to us. But any cloud solution which has to be sitting on a public cloud environment will have audits in place where you evaluate to understand, is the security protocols secure enough? Is the customers being protected well enough as well? And these are areas that we have to always keep an eye out, because it's not just Acumatica as an ERP. Maybe if it's you're buying a solution for something else, you need to have this in mind. And keep in mind, it is not just this solution which is on a server or it's on a public cloud. Even your mobile phones are not secure, right? There are a lot of cases where you might get hacked on phones. That is also a key area we have to be always careful about. Always keep in mind that you should not be complacent when it comes to security of your solution, all right, of your data. Now, okay, so I'm not going to too much into this, but this is in a nutshell a summary of what the business challenges are. And this is what you've heard. I think you've heard this most of the time, right? People talking about Industry 4.0 and how the next Industry 5.0 is also coming along. These are things that you have to keep in mind. It is relevant to you. Regardless you're a small, medium, or large company, it is very, very relevant. And when you have an idea about the different trends or the different features that come along when it comes to doing a digital transformation, you need to always see how to bring it all together. If you are only picking a few of these elements, a few of these points, and then leaving out the rest, it might not actually help you as an organization when you're thinking about doing a digital transformation. But if you feel that there are few trends in one shot, everything together will be more applicable, then please go for it. Because when you go for it, the rewards are much more higher, right? That is how transformation helps you as a company, as an organization. Also, as I said, right, it's Industry 5.0 is coming. And this is where it's more about how we are utilizing the machine or AI technology or machine learning to get more work out of it. Because, for example, in Acumatica, we have a kind of like an artificial intelligence incorporated. We also have machine learning also, as well, that is part of it. And these are things which are already in place, and we are being developing it on a high scale every year as well. The reason is because the business is evolving, right? The company's business are evolving. We need to have a solution in place which helps you and progresses you with along with your evolution as well, and to make sure that you are getting the maximum out of it. Yeah, so you are trying to utilize the solution to do as much as possible for you, rather than it is more of a labor or manual labor into doing some work, which is what we're trying to reduce here. How to be more productive, how to be more efficient in this period. Now, I missed out a little bit about the dashboards of Acumatica when we talk about analytics as well, because analytics is a very crucial element when it comes to decision making. A lot of people forget this. If you do not know what you did last year or what you're doing right now, you will not learn from it to how to move forward to your next step. And if you're not having an idea about doing a forecasting or doing a projection of how your business is going to be, you will run into trouble. Having these tools in place helps you along the way. Yes, Excel is a very good tool. I love using Excel as well. I think a lot of accounting people also love using Excel, but there are still limitations of how much you can utilize Excel for. And this is where dashboards and analytical tools in solutions like Acumatica can actually help you. Not just Acumatica, we have our own dashboards, we have our own analytical tools, but we also work with third-party solutions. Like, for example, we have a very good partner who is a corporate performance management solution. It's called Solver. And Solver has been a partner for us for a very, very long time. Like, customers are there who want to use Acumatica along with kind of a business planning tool, which Solver is very good with. Maybe, Mian, I think maybe you can explain a little bit about what Solver does.
So aside from the budgeting that provided by the ERP system, because they also need to track the budget on quantity and amount and create some forecast, what if scenario, those things. So our CPM solution can do this and is integrated to our ERP system and have the functionality of writing back data from the CPM or from Solver to our ERP solution as well. Also, there are holding companies who need to consolidate the result of the operations coming from the different systems. So Solver can easily address this need. So in conclusion, Acumatica can be easily integrated to the system because of the API structure of Acumatica.
All right. So that's it. Thanks a lot, Mian, for explaining about that. Appreciate it. All right. So just to finalize the topic about, so having a connected business is not more than just being digital, right? It's all about utilizing the technologies that are there. That is the latest technologies that are there. And not just that, because technology on its own it's pointless. You need to think about the people that you're utilizing for it as well. People have to change a bit when it comes to adopting new ways of doing business or using technology to run your business as well. The processes that you have as a company have to change, because sometimes things are done in a way which is very, very stale. And after a while, you feel that this is not how a business should be run. But adopting new ways is also not easy, because you need to think about change management. And this is where having a change in people's mindset and the processes that you're adopting right now it goes a long way, right? When it leads to having a connected business. Not just that, utilizing research, utilizing peer community is very, very important, because we are living in a world which is connected quite well. It is not like before, where we couldn't find out information about the ways to run your business or to even adopt new technologies. Try having this peer community, having to understand what others are doing, it helps you as well to make a choice and how to move forward when it comes to having a connected business as well. Right? So digital transformation is not just about the technology, right? And that's what we're trying to explain here. It's not just about the technology. It is about how you, as an organization, are having a strategy in place, right? How to make your business better, right? How to run your business better. And then this new way of thinking just allows you to lead you towards a digital transformation at the end of the day. This is very, very logical as a step. And so that is why it is not just about technology, but it is about your plan, right? And your way of doing it. Now, best path for transforming business is always to thrive on a digital economy, right? And for us, Acumatica, that's the whole point of our solution. It's about having a connected business, and we are delivering it. We have already delivered it as part of your solution. Now, Acumatica as a business is 100% channel driven. That means we work through our local partners in every country. Like Mian explained that I am a channel partner. So my job is to make sure that partners are enabled and help the partners and discuss with customers to help them out as well on this journey, right? And because the other reason is, partners like Infosoft are the local experts as well. They have a lot of industry knowledge. They have the industry knowledge which is relevant to maybe the local market. And these are where the advantages come about having partners like Infosoft to help you come over. Now, I've been in this business for a very long time. I've been doing other ERPs as well. And this is, in Acumatica, I've been more than 5 years, as what Mayan said. And it's always, I worked with a lot of partners. Infosoft is one of those few partners that it's always been a delight for me to work with. And because Infosoft is dedicated to Acumatica, not just because of the product or the features itself, it's because I can see that they're taking the features and strengths of Acumatica and adding those as value to their customers, right? There's no point in having a solution like Acumatica if the partner does not actually provide you that value add. And this is where Infosoft comes from. Not only that, there's a reason why Infosoft is a gold certified partner of Acumatica. It's a no-brainer. We know why it is. And this is the reason why, because of customer dedication as well. And just to let everyone know, Infosoft was in fact awarded the top construction industry edition partner of Acumatica for 2020 in a pandemic year when a company like Infosoft have managed to bring value to customers in the Philippines, right? Is very rare. And this is how they work, because they're trying to help companies grow. And construction industry is one new thing for us as a sector. And Infosoft has many customers right now on the solution and who are enjoying the features that come along with it. So with that being said, I would like to hand it back to Mayan in good hands. You're all in good hands with Infosoft because of that. So Mayan, as she said, she runs Acumatica division in Infosoft. And I think the next step would be, Nimian, maybe you can explain more about Infosoft, the company, to the audience.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shine, for that enlightening information that you have shared to us. Can someone confirm if you can see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am, we
We
can
can
see
see
your
it.
screen.
Okay. Yeah. So, good afternoon, everyone, and good afternoon once again. And thank you for taking your time to attend to this webinar. We hope we will be able to impart some takeaway that will kickstart your digital transformation. So this afternoon, please allow me to introduce Infosoft, our team, our solutions, our services, and a case study on the journey of our customer to a digital transformation. So Infosoft is strategically located in three major cities of the country. That is Mandaluyong, our head office, and our two main branches in Cebu and Davao. We choose to set up our offices into these key cities so our clients can reach us easily and for us to be able to satisfy more our Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao clients. We wanted to be a trusted advisor to our customers. That is why we prefer that our consultants should understand the business process and procedure, as well as technical aspects of our solution. if you will notice, we have two types of consultants. That is our functional consultants and our technical consultants. We have already proven in our 20 years of business experience that deploying functional consultants who understand the business process is a way more effective and is giving us a higher success rate in terms of our project implementation. So if you can see here, we have a ratio of 60% with finance background and 40% are CPAs among the pool of our functional consultants. And we also believe that technical skills is equally important in achieving a competitive advantage when it comes to automating the business of our client. Hence, our technical consultants are composed of developers and technical consultants. So if you look at the ratio, we have like 87% of our technical consultants are all developers and 13% are technical support. Their main responsibility is to ensure that the system is up to date in terms of technology. They also do customization if needed by our clients. And they also do research and development of our vertical solution that aims in the advancement of our customers' automation experience and digital transformation. Okay, so our solutions. As a consultant, we recommend the best solution to our customer depending on their requirement. We usually recommend Dynamics to customers with 5 to 25 users and typically does not need any vertical solution. We offer Acumatica to the conglomerate business because usually each of the company has different and unique requirement from each other. And we have already built our vertical solutions that will cater to the specific needs of different industry. So I'll be tackling our vertical solution in my next slide. Okay. And Acumatica is also offering unlimited user that makes it more economical for our clients to invest into. Aside from that, Acumatica is 100% cloud and can support a paperless environment because it allows you to attach and save the necessary supporting documents inside Acumatica. Hence, we believe it can really support our clients' digital transformation goal. Okay, so to complement our ERP solution, we have the CPM solution that caters to the needs of our clients who requires complex budgeting and forecasting, or if they require or if they need to get data coming from different sources and consolidate them in order for them to come up with a report that will give them a meaningful business insight. Okay, so aside from that, since we have a lot already, a lot of conglomerate customers already who needs to consolidate the performance of each of their affiliates or subsidiaries who at the moment is using different system. Solver can also do that easily since it can get data from different sources or from different database. Okay. And lastly, but not the least, integrated to Acumatica is also our point system, a point of sale system. We call it LS1. This completes our offering, our solutions offering to our retail customers. So also, as mentioned a while ago, we are dedicating our time and effort to find ways how we can elevate the digital transformation experience of our customers. We have developed a vertical solution on top of Acumatica ERP to cater to the to cater to the unique process and different industry that we are focusing on. So our first vertical solution is for real estate dimension. So this is for construction industry and property management businesses. Our real estate dimension includes the sales and marketing of the property, facilitates property reservation, maintains sales agent master data, and automate the complex commission computation, including tiering of agent commission. It will also monitor collection of equity. It can be a one-time or can be spread over a period of months. Okay, if you have in-house financing, we have our sales financing also inside our real estate dimension. So this one includes financing, restructuring of loan, computation of finance charges, surcharges, and penalties. And if needed, there is also a process where you can condone those additional charges with, of course, approval process. Okay, so it also includes foreclosure of property and resale of foreclosed property. If you are a lessor, you can also monitor those property that are being occupied or available for lease. It can also help you generate the monthly billing for your lease, compute for the penalties or early payment rebates, and generate bills for utilities if needed. Okay, so that's our real estate dimension. Our second vertical product is facility dimension. So if you are a lessor and you have a lot of leased property, okay, our facilities dimension can help you manage and monitor those leases. This vertical solution is already IFRS 16 compliant. Okay, so since our government is requiring us to comply with the IFRS 16. Okay. And then third, in our vertical solution is the agribusiness dimension. Actually, the agribusiness dimension has three categories. We have agribusiness dimension for aquaculture. We have agribusiness dimension for poultry and livestock, and we have agribusiness dimension for plantation. So this agribusiness dimension already caters all the unique requirement from feed production, from hatchery and fingerlings production, uh, from growing operation management to processing the end product and sales and marketing up to the finance phase of the business. Okay, so all the necessary operational process was already automated to ensure that the operational excellence of each of this company is achieved. Okay, and last but not the least, we have our advanced dimension. So this advanced dimension focuses on the local requirements of those company in the Philippines. So we have here Philippine taxation. So it's included in the advanced dimension. So Philippine taxation, it includes all the BIR reports and processes, including reports required by the BIR when you apply for computerized accounting system accreditation. Also, it includes the employee fund management. It's the automation and monitoring of cash advances and liquidation. It is integrated to our field tax to recognize input VAT reporting. Also, we have our petty cash management. It includes the automation and monitoring of petty cash fund management, and also integrated to tax should the client wants to track and record input but as well. And then lastly is our PDC warehousing. This monitors the PDC received from the customers and PDC issued to our supplier. Okay, so with all this ISB, we will be providing a separate webinar for each industry soon. Okay, so if you are interested to know more, please wait for an announcement in our social media. We will be glad to see you again in this future webinar. So to complete our offering for our retail customers, we also offer point of sales hardware. So depending on the requirement of our retail customer, they can choose among all the POS hardware that we are offering to them. Okay, so our services, which is I think the most important why Infosoft has been in the industry for like 20 years already. So with the years of experience, we have already identified what is the most effective way when it comes to implementing an ERP system. We have adopted a sure-step implementation methodology and tweak it in such a way that it will become easier and more practical for us as the consultant and for our clients. So we have 5 phases in our implementation. So the first is analysis, where we sit down with our clients and discuss the project objectives, their business requirements, their current business process, their pains, and their future plans. So after discussing those, we will proceed to the design phase, where we are going to set up the system in order to achieve the objective that we have set. Improve the business process and eliminate the pain. We will be documenting all the findings, all the recommendations that we have discussed, and this will serve as our blueprint and our guide in doing the implementation. So once all the blueprints are approved, we will proceed to the development phase, where we will set up the system according to our approved blueprint and develop all the business forms and financial reports. So once all the customization is done, we will deploy the fully set up system into the cloud and conduct the core team training and the full cycle test of all the setup that we have made. We call this actually a user acceptance test. Okay, when all the process pass the UAT, then we will create the final production database to prepare for the next step, which is our operation. This is where we go live and all the transactions should be done in the ERP system and reports should be generated from it. After one accounting cycle, we will turn over the project to our client, and this time we will mark the implementation project as completed. Okay. And then another service that we are providing to our client is customizations and integration. If there are any requirement that cannot be done in the standard process of our ERP system, then we do the customization to fit the requirement of our clients. Although at this point, we have already minimized the customization requirement since we have already developed most of the functionalities that our clients may need to efficiently conduct their business through our vertical solutions, which I have shown you in my previous slides. Okay. Um, Another service that we provide is our service maintenance plan. This is actually a result of our years of experience. We noticed in our early practice of implementing an ERP system that after completing the project and turn it over to the client, after sometimes the system's process regresses instead of continuously improving it. So we made a research and conduct an interview with those clients, and we found out that when there are attrition in the client side or reshuffling of employees, the handover was not done properly. So the new team either stop using the system and revert back to doing it manually, or they do things wrongly in the system. This is why we conceptualize and offer the SMP services for us to be able to ensure that our client always maximizes the usage of the system and continuously improve it to adapt to the ever-changing requirement and need of their business. We wanted our clients to continuously harvest the benefits of having an effective, efficient, and updated system to always leverage on the new technologies that is available in the market. So those are our services. Okay, so with our dedication and effort, our principal awarded us with I think 3 consecutive gold certified partner award from 2018 to 2020. So that's 3 consecutive years. And we've been awarded Field Service Partner of the Year in 2019, and 2 awards as Construction Partner of the Year from 2018 and 2020, as Shine have mentioned a while ago. So thank you, Acumatica, for recognizing our effort.
Anytime.
Yes. Okay. So case study. Okay, how we help our customer in the journey to digital transformation. Okay. So as I've mentioned in one of Shine's questions, so Rupali is one of our customers. They've been in the business of selling motorcycles for nearly 50 years. And I think at least you've seen one branches near your place, because they're spread all over the country. Okay, so the executive gave us this project objective to implement an end-to-end solution for accounting, sales management, and inventory management to all the 126 branches across the country. They have actually 5 companies with 126 branches across the country. So before we implement Acumatica, Rupali is using a Q&E accounting system where they install separate instances per user and just consolidate the summary of each of their transactions at the end of the month. It took them 3 months to submit the FS to the management. That makes all the reports already irrelevant. So the decision making are based on how the requestor or the project proponents convince or justify his or her request or project to the president. So the basis of their decision is almost always subjective. Okay, so that's prior to Acumatica being implemented in Rupali. So after we went live in Acumatica, they can already present their report every Execom meeting, and the owner is satisfied that he asked that all their other companies should implement Acumatica as well. So and I think up to this moment, they are very happy and they are continuously developing Acumatica to address the changing needs of their company and their organization. So that's how we assist our client to achieve their digital transformation goal. Okay, so that's about Infosoft. Okay, and to give us an insight on why Acumatica is the best solution for our digital transformation, may I welcome back Shine to give us a brief background of Acumatica ERP. Shine?
Right. Thanks a lot, Mia. Just share my screen. All right, I think we're running a little bit short of time, so I won't go into too much detail on my part because I think Mian gave a very good presentation about Infosoft and also covered a bit about Acumatica as well. So I'm just going to go through a little bit of an overview of what Acumatica as a company. We are based out of Washington, Seattle, Washington, in the US. Though we are an American company, our owners are in fact Swedish. So it's quite funny because most of the time when anyone asks me where are you based in, which company are you from, I kind of say it's like a Swedish American kind of company because our parent company is a private equity firm called EQT. As you can see here, EQT is based in Stockholm and our global head office is in Seattle, Washington. So we have offices across the world, as you can see. In addition to that, we also have what we call OEM partners. So OEM partners means that there are a lot of companies out there who are in fact using Acumatica's platform and white labeling their own name on it to those markets. One good example here, as you can see here, is MYOB. MYOB is a very, very famous accounting software. In fact, if you a lot of small companies are using accounting softwares like MYOB, QuickBooks. So it's quite commonly, it's a very well-known name like that. But MYOB does not have its own ERP solution. And when they wanted to go into the ERP market, they realized the R&D cost and the platform strength is an issue for them. And which is why they decided to take up Acumatica ERP and white label it as MYOB Advanced Edition exclusively in Australia and New Zealand. Right? They can't do it outside those countries. So like that, similar to that, we have a few partners, the names that you see here, a few of them are OEM partners, but definitely our biggest focus is always based on ISV partners, and resellers like Infosoft. Now here, Infosoft, who's on the call, as Mian mentioned, right? They are also an ISV partner of Acumatica. ISV is what you call an independent software vendor. These are the ones who would develop very, very niche product solutions, which maybe might not be in Acumatica as a standard, but are more catered towards certain industry verticals. Like for Acumatica, we have industry editions, definitely, but we don't have everything. And this is where independent software vendors like Infosoft, which with AxelTech is their company, will have developed some solutions on this, which is definitely available for partners, other partners globally, and also for the end customer. So customers like to get solutions like this, which is more catered towards their requirement. So again, as I said, so reseller is like how Infosoft is a reseller who has been awarded, as I said, the best top partner of 2020 for construction industry. So similar to that, we have around 300 partners globally who are reselling Acumatica, right? As I mentioned earlier, we are very channel focused, right? Acumatica doesn't sell directly to any customer. It's always through a local reseller like Infosoft. Our technology leadership is always based on a platform. And this is where, as you can see, I totally explained earlier why partners like MYOB have invested in us. The reason is because they understood the value of our future-proof platform and they've believed in it. And because of that belief is why they've invested and they're positioning that under their own name. Not many would do that, right? You're taking up a product and you put your name on it. You are actually responsible for it, right? MYOB is so this is why for us a platform is our core strength. And also Also, the reason is because our platform allows a very, very open architecture based and rapid integration kind of concept. Because a lot of solutions out there in the market, right? A lot of ERPs are there who might not be willing to integrate with third-party solutions. As an ERP company or as a solution, a business solution, we cannot be a silo-based structure. We cannot be an island here. The reason is because as an organization, you might need to use other solutions because your business requires it to be. And so if you have a backend ERP like Acumatica, who allows you to talk to any third-party software you're using in your organization, then that is the best approach, right? Because you don't want to replace any of those solutions, and you want to make sure that you can integrate anything to Acumatica. Classic examples being here is like, as you can see, we have Salesforce mentioned here. Salesforce is a CRM, Salesforce automation and CRM solution. Acumatica has also a CRM solution, a module in Acumatica. But we will never say our CRM is better than Salesforce, because Salesforce is the industry standard, gold standard when it comes to this industry. But the flip side is Salesforce doesn't have an ERP, right? So a customer who would use Salesforce maybe would lead an ERP that is already readily available to connect with their Salesforce solution. And this is where our strength is, because we want to make sure as a customer, you have the choice to integrate all your solutions that are running in your business with a core product like Acumatica. Accessibility, we gave examples earlier, right? We gave examples about how customers have faced the difficulty during a pandemic situation last year, where they were not even able to access to their server, and they were not even able to run their business because they didn't even have a business solution running up and running to do their daily jobs. Accessibility is a main factor for all businesses not now. It is a requirement, right? You need to think in those terms. When you're running a business, when you're not in the office, doesn't mean you can stop using the system. You need to access it from anywhere, on any device, and by anyone who has the rights to access it. So this is why it's very important to have a solution like Acumatica when you're running it on cloud or running it on a browser-based environment, which accessibility doesn't limit you. And our functionality is best in class, right? So because we have a lot of knowledge, background knowledge, and our core products is this, that our main core products is based on financials, project accounting, inventory, and customer management. Now, when I show this slide, if I remove the name Acumatica and the logo from here, most of the time you would not be able to distinguish from Acumatica or any ERP, because most of the ERPs actually has these core products, right? Why are we unique? Where is a unique factor? This is where it comes about, where around 8 years ago or 9 years ago, we moved away from a generic-based ERP solution because customers are all very different. You are all sitting in a different environment. You're sitting in a different industry. Your specialties are different. So the whole point of this exercise is that when we have a solution, it should be actually related to your industry. And this is where, when we started off, we decided that we have to go in very specific industries like distribution, manufacturing, e-commerce, field service and construction. And we are growing, right? Every 2 years, 1 to 2 years, we keep on now adding more and more industry solutions. The good thing about having industry additions like this is like how Infosoft became an ISV partner of ours. When Infosoft started doing construction edition in Acumatica, they realized that customers in Philippines are not just doing construction. They are property developers as well. They are also property real estate management companies as well. So it cannot just be maybe construction they're doing end to end, where this is where they have put their own solution and they developed an Acumatica platform more related towards construction, property management, real estate, right? Flexible deployment options. Now, this is our strength as well, where though we keep saying cloud ERP, public cloud, yes, that is our core focus and our strength. But as a customer, you still have the choice whether you want to put it on cloud, or you want to put it on your own server, or you want to put it on your own data center that you have a contract with. Again, the choice is yours. the advantage here is that Acumatica version on both public cloud and on-premise deployment are exactly the same, which technically means if one day you are on private cloud in Acumatica, and after 2 years or so you decide, okay, I don't want to run this anymore on my own server, I don't want to run it on my own data center, I want to be managed everything by Acumatica, you can move it over to SaaS as well. We have a few customers who do that, who realize that they do not want the on-premise options at all. Flexibility in terms of growth. I don't know if you heard it earlier, probably we mentioned it. Acumatica is not a user license-based company. We do not charge per user for your company. Our licensing is based on edition, what module you need, and what is your consumption, your commercial consumption in Acumatica. Your consumption of Acumatica can grow, can expand, and can shrink as well. And your licensing is based on this. So that is the benefit of having this kind of concept, because it allows you to add whoever or however, whichever users you have in your company as an organization, you can add it because we don't charge per user. The good thing about this licensing is that it even allows you to put accessibility to your end customers and also to your business partners. We have a lot of customers actually who are using Customer Portal, which is a license in Acumatica. And this portal is something that a customer might use for their end customer, or it can even be to their supplier, right? Or their end customers can even purchase using the portal. Because there is no licensing based on user, it allows you to open it up to anyone. So this is the one key factor about Acumatica. The other one is about support, because a lot of companies out there who have an ERP always have one mode of support. That is, they always talk to the partner, the vendor who implemented the ERP for them. So any issue comes up, you raise the request. Okay, guys, I have an issue. Then they are the ones who's working on it, or they will escalate it to the principal. In Acumatica's case, you still have that option. Is already there as available because it's standard, right? Because you want to know, your vendor is the one who knows exactly what they implemented for you. Always you reach out to them. But in addition to that, we also allow the customer to talk to us directly as well. The idea is that we are trying to keep it open, right? Very, very open in terms of how a partner is also supporting you and how Acumatica as a principal is also supporting you as a customer. Free training. Now, a lot of people out there who get worried, right? When they get into an ERP, the first thing in their mind is that, is it too complex to use, right? Good news is that Acumatica is very, very easy, right? It's very easy, it's very user-friendly. Most of the customers you might talk to about Acumatica will tell you the same thing. It's not very difficult to use. The reason is because we are trying to make it as user-friendly as possible, which means you are not getting too much worried that your staff are not able to cope with the new solution. Not only that, Acumatica also provides open university. This open university is exactly the same as a partner's university. So if when Infosoft does trainings online, they do their, the tests and everything is what they're doing is a partner university. This free university is exactly the same. The only difference is there's no certifications on this. That's it. But it's pretty much the same thing. And the good thing with that is that you can allow yourself to enable yourself as well. The idea behind it is because when you have access to these kind of information, you as a company, as an organization, are much more self-sufficient, right? The dependency on other people who are helping you out on these kind of things is lesser and lesser. Right, so our commitment is always to success, right? We will not be where we are without our customers. And for us, our scores are quite high because that is why, as you can see, Net Promoter Score is a score that is more applicable to a customer of Acumatica who is referring us to another customer to think about Acumatica. In Infosoft's case, it's quite unique because in the Philippines, I know for a fact, whenever Infosoft has a new customer on board who is getting Acumatica, I always find it interesting to know that this customer, in fact, came as a referral from another existing customer, and so on and so forth. That's how they are actually, most of the customers they have is because of that. And the reason is because customers are happy. When you're happy is when you refer things to someone else, right? This is human nature, and this is why our score is quite high. Customer support satisfaction is also very high, as you can see, 97%. And just let you know, we are the fastest growing cloud ERP company right now, right? We are the fastest growing. We have been growing like clockwork, and this is why a private equity company even acquired us 2 years ago, is because of a growth trajectory. All right, just to finalize, this is the last one. Promise, our customers are growing every year. We are now more than 7,500 customers worldwide. This number is a little bit outdated because this is from a slide that I took from like beginning of mid of last year or so. So this is in fact much more than this. It should be around 8,000. This is what I heard the last number. That's it from my side. Thank you very much. I'll pass it back to Jason and Mian.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Mary Ann and Sir Shine. Great insights about digital transformation and ERP. So we're now going to begin answering your questions submitted during today's presentation. As a reminder, you can still submit your inquiries through chat box. Our first question is, how does Acumatica licensing works? Ms. Mayan, can you answer this question?
Yes. Actually, Acumatica, as I've mentioned in my presentation, is unlimited users. So it doesn't measure you on the number of users. It measures you on the consumption or the commercial transaction that you are processing inside Acumatica. And also, I'm not sure if the question also want to ask, if you are in a multi-company environment, Acumatica has different tenants, so you can house different company inside Acumatica. So you can only like purchase one Acumatica license and house several companies inside Acumatica.
Right. Just to add on to what Mian explained about unlimited licensing users. So our basic foundation came about using an example like this. So if you have a house or an apartment, obviously you use utilities, right? You use electricity to use in your equipments at your home. Now, you have maybe 7 people, maybe or 5 people living in your home, and you're consuming electricity. So the electricity bill that you get is not based on the number of people living in your house. It is not based on the number of people that are living there, maybe or might not be using it, but it is based on the usage of utilities. That is how it works for us. For us, we don't care how many people you have in your company, but we only care about how much you consume or utilize Acumatica for your business. That's, in a nutshell, this is a kind of an example to explain how this consumption licensing works. All right, thanks, Mian. That's good.
Thanks, Shine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ma'am Mayan. Next question is, does Acumatica include data analytics? Ms. Mayan, you want to answer?
Yes, actually, Acumatica includes data analytics. So there are, you can actually set up your own dashboards by choosing what kind of analytics you want to display per users.
Thank you, ma'am. Our next question is, can we integrate our third-party systems to Acumatica? I think Sir Shine can answer this question.
Yeah, I covered this during the overview session,
Yes,
but
sir.
yes, correct. As I said, we are the good thing about Acumatica is that we have unlimited APIs. That means connectors, and it allows, the idea behind this is that it allows you to connect with third-party systems as well. As I said earlier, right? We cannot have all the products in the world, right? If Acumatica could do that, we definitely would be the most happiest, but we can't, right? Realistically speaking, an industry or business is very different. For example, retail. So if you have a retail kind of a business, most definitely you have a retail point of sale in your outlets, which, I mean, we do have now, but earlier we don't. But as a solution, most likely that company or organization would be using those point of sale in the outlets. You need to have those outlets POS because you need to be BIR accredited, the machine has to be certified. All these are business practice you need to follow, right, to run your business in Philippines. but you need to have an ERP. So definitely Acumatica will integrate with those third party like point of sale, which is a classic example of how integrations work, right? Because it's something that is required and we need to make sure we deliver it. So it allows it, to answer your question. Yeah.
Thank you, Sir Shine. We have another question. Does Acumatica has a vertical solution for car dealership? Sir Shine, you want to answer?
Actually, Mian can answer this because of the customer we have. We have a
Yeah.
couple of customers similar to it. Yeah. So, but maybe Mian, you can explain how it works. So,
Actually, like Rupali and one of our customers who are also in the business of selling motorcycles. So we have implemented um, the field service edition, which is now will be an additional module of Acumatica, wherein you have the selling part, and then the post sales part of the business, wherein you have to like monitor the schedule for preventive maintenance and schedule the services for each of the vehicle that you have sold to your customers. So yes, we have a solution for this industry.
correct. So
And,
just yeah, sorry, but
and
Thank
we already have implemented similar industry actually.
correct. Yeah. I mean, it's a classic story, right? Where you have in ERP, because we have service management and equipment management modules in Acumatica, this is where it relates to a car dealership, because a car dealer means you import the cars, most likely you have a dealer, you have a branch showroom. When you sell the car, you sell, and it has a VIN number tied to it. And then you have service warranty schedules, right? You always have after 3 months or after 6 months kind of servicing that you need to be doing as part of your when you sell a car. And this is where the service management takes care of that. Plus this equipment management takes care of the warranties to it, plus the spare parts related to the cars as well. So based on the brand or based on the model, the spare parts might be different. And these are all tracked in Acumatica using the service management module.
Thank you, Sir Shine. Thank you, Madam. We have this last question. How long is the implementation timeline?
How long is the implementation timeline? So, based on our experience, we have as short as 3 months, and we already complete the implementation. But to specifically answer it, depends on the scope of the implementation. Of course, if you will be implementing just like the financial part of Acumatica or of an ERP system, then a shorter period of implementation is required. But for example, you are implementing let's say, field service edition, a car dealership, then a longer implementation is needed because you have more extensive business process that you need to set up and review, and you have to test more processes inside the system. So it took like on the average around 6 months to 1 year. So depending on the resources that is being deployed by the clients, because sometimes the client can afford to deploy a dedicated team to assist us in the implementation. So the implementation becomes faster. But if they cannot afford to dedicate a resources to help us on the implementation, then implementation process may take longer. So it's a case-to-case scenario actually.
Thank you, Miss Man. I think our speakers have already cleared up all your inquiries about ERP. By the way, we have already chose the recipient of Infosoft Limited Edition Moleskine Notebook. Congrats for those who will receive this. We'll contact you for the shipping address. Thank you all for participating with us.
Sorry, Jason. I think there was one more question that came up at the last
Sorry, sir.
for existing.
Last.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last question, sir, is for existing Acumatica clients, what are the new updates of Acumatica features?
But I can take this up. A very good question, Marie, because every year in March and in October, Acumatica releases every year 2 major releases. And the good thing about existing Acumatica customers is that they can keep upgrading it to the new versions every 1 year or every 2 years. And when these new versions come along, the good thing is that it comes along with new features for the existing licenses or modules you've bought, or it has additional modules, new modules that are there, which is more and more features might be you can utilize. So the good thing is customers can utilize the new features in the existing modules they have, and also they can even add on other modules which they would need maybe for their business because their business has changed most likely. Right?
Okay, Sir Shine, we have another question. Can we design our own report format in Acumatica?
Definitely, yes. We have a lot of the report formatting is very easy in Acumatica. In fact, I can do it myself.
So it looks like we've covered all of your questions. By the way, you can reach us through our email, marketing@infosoft.com.ph. You can also call us at 88668080. Visit our website, www.infosoft.com.ph. Also, don't forget to like and follow us in our Submit accounts, both Facebook and LinkedIn, Infosoft Consulting Corporation, to get updates and news about our solutions, services, and upcoming webinars. Just a reminder, your e-certificate will be given upon request. So to claim it, just email us at marketing@infosoft.com.ph, put Acumatica Webinar request for e-certificate as a subject, then include the following details in the body of your email. So to wrap up this event, may I call on again Miss Marianne and Sir Shine?
Hi. We just like to thank everyone who reserved their time to be with us in this webinar. So we hope that you have gained a useful insight in this webinar and hope to talk to you to discuss about your business process, or hope to see you again in our future webinars.
Right. Just to add on to what Mian said, thanks a lot for joining us. I really appreciate it. And definitely thank you, Mian and Jason and team for arranging this webinar. I think it was really great that we got a chance to, discuss and also share about digital transformation, about Acumatica, and about Infosoft to all the participants today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
sir.
Bye, everyone.